Yesterday, someone asked my son, what does your dad do? And he's 6, and he responded with, he's saving the elephants. So I'm now saving an entire species. So no pressure whatsoever, none. So this is Rosie. I live and work in Hope, Maine, 2.5 hours from here. And I help take care of elephants. And anyone can help with elephants. Anyone can help take care of elephants. I'm going to tell you how. I'm also going to tell you why you should. So that's me in Botswana when I had more hair than I do now. And that's a young bull. He is nervous. He's young. As I walk forward, he backs up because he's not really sure why I'm not running away from him. And unfortunately, being afraid of people is a lesson that will probably serve him very well. So, first of all, I want to ask a quick question. I can't really see that well, but who here likes elephants? That's a lot of hands. Who didn't put their hand up? Sorry. So elephants they speak to us, you know. They're part of our culture, even though they're not indigenous to the country we live in. Everyone has them growing up, whether it's Babar or it's Horton or, I don't know, countless other examples that become part of our culture and part of our lives. You know, at TED, everyone has their witty, funny, exciting starting point. I don't have that. What I have is the message for you that elephants are going extinct. That's not very uplifting. Perhaps you knew that elephants are going extinct. Perhaps you didn't. If you did know, you probably don't think about it very much. You know, you've got countless things to remember every day, countless things distracting you. Did I remember my homework? Is there milk in the fridge? What the hell is going on with Justin Bieber's hair? Seriously, what's going on with his hair? It doesn't matter. The point I'm trying to make is that we as people now in this age are bombarded with technology and lots of different things happening all the time that stop us focusing on things that are really important. For me, elephants going extinct, that's important. It's a big deal. So what is an elephant? There are 3 species of elephant left. There are 2 African species. This is Loxodonta africana. There are about 300,000 African elephants left in the world. That's down from probably 10 to 7 million at the beginning of the 20th century. Last year, 37,000 elephants were killed in Africa. To put that in perspective, that's the entire population of the town of Biddeford being wiped out, and then some more people on top of that. That's 1 year. At current rates, African elephants will be gone in less than 10 years. It's dramatic, it's happening right now, and it's a major issue in more ways than just the loss of an elephant. So everyone knows elephants. They get killed for their ivory, right? That's part of it. It's a large part of it, and that's what's leading to the rapid decline of African elephants right now. Ivory, you know, if you live in Africa, for example, Malawi, someone in Malawi makes $2 a day. And one of these tusks here, that's $40,000. So if you're living on $2 a day and $40,000 walks right past you, that's a huge temptation. And it's understandable that elephants are in decline, and it's understandable that this is happening. It doesn't make it right, and there is a way to fix it, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But, you know, people focus on African elephants. People focus on the ivory issue because it's dramatic, it's easy to latch onto. You know, it gets people's attention. You can basically see Brad Pitt out there or Chuck Norris taking out poachers. You know, there's going to be a movie coming out, sure. I know it. But that's only, you know, the top part of this. There's more to it than that. This ivory, it's a billion-dollar industry. It is driving criminal organizations. There are links to Al-Qaeda. It's funding terrorist groups. It's a huge problem beyond just the loss of the elephants. People know about ivory. People know about African elephants. People don't hear much about Asian elephants. That's what we have, Rosie and Opal. And so you don't hear much about Asian elephants. They must be okay, right? They're not. There are only 30,000 Asian elephants left in the world. So again, roughly the size of your town. That's it for the whole planet. And we have 2 of them here in Maine, randomly. So the issue for both African and Asian elephants, more than anything, the ivory is a huge issue, and I'm not taking away from that yet. But the underlying issue is us, and just generally us. It's population growth. Right now, the global population is, well, it just went up, and it's going up again right now as I speak, but it's 7.5 billion people. And that leads to habitat loss for not just elephants, but every other mammalian species on the planet. They're all in decline, pretty much. So, you know, why should I save an elephant? What difference does it make? What difference does it make to me? What difference does it make to the world as a whole? If you live in an elephant range country, they happen to be not quite as developed and wealthy as the country that we are living in right now. So, global economic disparity. And we're going to solve this problem with elephants. Maybe. We could. So, if you go to Africa, and you go and you travel around and you look at wildlife, that is a major, major form of income for the people of that continent. $38 billion worth of money was spent in Africa on tourism. As I said, I come back to it again, if you're making $2 a day, that's massive. That's massive infrastructure. It leads to all the follow-on jobs. It leads to an income for an entire village if you are around a wildlife area. And the same is true in Asia. So economically, it's important. You might say to yourself, well, that's not economically important to me. I don't live in Africa. I don't live in India. What difference does it make? We'll get to that. So biodiversity, another very important reason to keep elephants around. Elephants are a keystone species. In fact, they're not actually just a keystone species. They're even cooler. They're called a super keystone species. What that means is that they define the ecosystem in which they live. And they are responsible for the ecosystem and the environment for many other animals and plants. Elephants eat about 600 different types of plant, and they're important dispersers. So those plants don't distribute and don't move unless an elephant's eating them. What that means, if you don't have plant dispersal, you don't have nutrient recycling, you don't have soil being kept in one place by root structures. So people talk about elephants causing desertification. They're also responsible, if you lose them, for desertification happening. And if you have desertification, then all the people who live in that area can't grow food because the soil is not good enough for it. These guys here, I've got a picture of them just because I like beetles, no other reason. No, that's not true. They, these dung beetles, this is the Addo dung beetle from South Africa. And they're going extinct because elephants have been moved out of the range that these beetles used to inhabit. So we're losing that species already. The thing with ecosystems, it's kind of like Jenga. You don't know how many pieces you pull out before the whole thing collapses. And if an ecosystem collapses, then that has a very real impact on us. It has a very real impact on the people who live there, and that has knock-on effects, because then you have population migrations, you have interruptions in all the things that we extract from those continents. It will have a very real impact on you, because the price of everything is going to go up. So this is Botswana. I was a safari guide there. And the park next to us was called the Makati Pans Park, and it's home to the second largest migration in Africa. You know, the wildebeest and the zebra, they all travel all over the place, and all the other animals come with it, the lions, all the rest of it. And there were poachers there, and one day we went out and we caught some poachers. We only got one, the rest were quicker than us. And he's in the back of the car, and we're driving him in to the police station. And I look back, and he's feeling very sorry for himself, and I don't blame him. But I'm looking at this guy, and I have to ask myself, are we really having an impact by stopping this one person from killing these animals? Yes, it's a protected park, but he doesn't have many alternatives. He's going to sell the skins, make some money from the zebra skins. He's going to either sell the meat or use the meat to feed his family. Is that such a terrible crime? I suppose on the face of it, it is, because it's against the law. That's a conserved area. But it's not really solving the problem by stopping this one person from going in there, or countless others. Doesn't matter how many people you stop, unless you alter the culture of the area, and unless you provide an economic alternative, it's going to continue. It is possible. It is possible to change perceptions. It is possible to have a real conservation impact. Shark fin soup, over 1 million sharks are killed every year, primarily to feed the Asian market's desire for this product, because it's a status symbol, much like ivory is. If you eat the shark fin soup, you must be doing very well. Due to public pressure on European and United States governments, there was pressure put on the Chinese government. And the Chinese government stood up and said, no, we're against shark fin soup. There's been a drop of over 70% in the consumption of shark fin soup in 2 years. So if you were to say to yourself, what difference does it make? I can't make a difference. I can't do anything. You can. You just have to stand up and do something about it. It's all very well to feel helpless, but as with everything else in life, all it takes to move from feeling like you can't do something and realizing that you can is to make the decision to do something about it. So when you leave here today, if this made any difference to your life at all, if it affected you in any way, all you need to do is make one phone call or sign one petition and then start that momentum going. And tell your friends about it. Tell your friends that elephants are going extinct. And if you decide just once a month that instead of buying a cup of coffee for $2, you're going to give that to a conservation group, then this talk hasn't been in vain. Elephants are incredibly smart, empathetic animals, and they deserve our support. Thank you very much.